Good evening, everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Renu. I am ready with yet another update. But what a beautiful day out here, plus 21 right now in Calgary. I hope you are all excited for the summer. All right, so before I dive into our timelines, I just wanted to give a heads up for those who are in dilemma or concern. The first thing is that in case if you have already submitted police clearance certificate at the time of file submission, you don't have to redo it unless and until it's been asked by visa officer. Now, if you haven't traveled outside of Canada in last 1 year, considering the fact that this program was opened in May, so you can always attach the clarification that you haven't traveled outside of Canada and you are submitting the old one. I always advise, if possible, please try to apply for the new one. So you can do this way. Attach the old PCC with the clarification that you haven't traveled outside of Canada and the confirmation receipt for the new one. So that way you don't have to worry about at any given time for any additional ADR. Okay, this is Manju's case out here. And before that, there's one more thing. If you have received the AOR and ADR and able to link up the application, a lot of you have concern that will my application would get rejected. Honestly speaking, so far there have not been a single rejection in this program unless and until the category you have applied for is entirely wrong, or the profile what you have claimed like during the time of file submission under stream B and stream A, it's not going with the set of documents what you have submitted. So the requirement is that whatever the NOC you have selected, your profile should match that, and you need to adhere to all the documentation like the employment letter, reference letter from your employer, or the pay stubs for last couple of months, whatever is being required has to be submitted. All right. This is Manju Joy case. When she's applied, it was in May again. It was May 6th, around 22:50, which is like, 10 o'clock. So here, like 11 o'clock, sorry. So she went to India and she got married, and then AOR was received in January. But during the time when she received the AOR, visa officer knew that she is a single applicant. So she submitted a web form to add the spouse details. So in between, then she got the ADR for police clearance certificate, and then TRF, that's test report form for IELTS. Now in March, she got a PR confirmation and portal request only for the primary applicant because the information what she has submitted in January wasn't updated. Now spouse was not added. So she replied again about the change in status and requested to add the spouse. Now, in this case, you definitely can approach MP or the higher authority in your local area. So MP was contacted as well. Next day, she got an acknowledgement about adding the spouse. After that, she was able to upload all the information, like the required application forms, then payment receipt, and police clearance certificate, and I'm sure that medicals were also requested. So all of that was mean, and I have already created a whole video how you can attach the documents in case if you got married in between. So there's a whole checklist out there, and the link would be in the description box below. Then she got an ADR for $85, and then spouse biometrics were done earlier, so definitely it wasn't much of a trouble for her. And then she has submitted the receipt, and thereafter May 11th she again got the portal request. Now this time it was for both principal applicant and spouse, and then ECOPR and PPR for the outland spouse was requested. That was last week only, and once she submit all of that, then it's just the PR card thing. Thank you so much for sharing your timeline here. All right, this is Huis Timeline IG stream. Submission time is like May 6th, and there was a requisition for PCC, and during the same time, we got the AOR, and then the application got approved, and portal was requested. Just have to update the information and all that, and then the ECUPR was received today. Moving on to another timeline out here, it's Navpreet under IG stream with spouse. So the submission time is around 5:45 p.m. Pacific time zone. I'm sorry if I'm going too fast because I just have to drop my kid to her soccer class. So yeah, bear with me. Application was linked in December here, and then there was an ADR for New Zealand police clearance certificate for spouse, income proof Schedule A for both both of them. And then there was a requisition for the travel document for the principal applicant also. Now you will be asked to submit all the documents whatsoever is required by the visa officer. And in case if you're not able to fulfill that requirement within that time period, they would again ask you to do it. Don't need to worry about that, although they mentioned that there would be rejection. So I personally would advise you, please make sure that if you are not able to submit that particular document, make sure you update the information why you're not able to do it. Or if you have tried to go for an attempt, just make sure that update, like get the screenshot of the receipt of that particular document and submit with your LOE, so that you're all good and visa officer knows it, that yes, you have started or initiated the process of getting that document done. So the deadline out here in this, it was 60 days. And then Naprita received the medical request for the spouse. That was in April again. And then ECOPR was received today. Now you can see portal request under this case was in April. So you can imagine that, it took almost 2 weeks for this candidate to get the ECOPR. So this is really surprising, because most of the time you will be able to get it in within a day or two, or max to max a week's time period. But this is one of its kind. So just to give you a heads up, in case if you have the same scenario, definitely don't need to rethink about it, or don't get into negative thoughts. You will get through. Moving on to another timeline out here. Hardeep's timeline, the submission time period is like May 6th at 5:48 p.m. Eastern Time Zone, and BIL was received in May. And you can see there was a requisition for a Schedule 3 and IELTS test. So that was like last week, May 13th itself. Now once the documents all done, you just have to wait for next step, that is PR confirmation portal. And finally he should be able to get the ECOPR and then the PR card. Now this was all for today, and I hope this video has been little help to you, and in case it does, I would highly recommend you to please subscribe for more updates. Till then, take care and stay safe, guys. Bye.